Okay, so first I'm gonna start off with my P. Louise base, and I'm just gonna apply it on my eyelid and use it as primer. So I'm just gonna grab a tiny little bit with my finger and then just apply it. And don't mind Chuchi. We recently got a parrot and he's about maybe 4 months. He's still a baby. But he's still, at first he was really shy, but now he's always chirping and just being very loud. And his actual name is Eugene, which is like Eugenio in Espanol. But I don't really like that name, so Eugene kind of sounds like Chuchi, so that's what we ended up bautizándolo with. From my Morphe 350M palette, I'm gonna go in with this shade here. You can't, it's almost gone, but it's like a very neutral color. It's like a peachy pale color. I'm gonna apply this as my transition shade, and it's, yeah, it's kind of like a peachy coral color, but it's very, very light. Same on this other eye. So far, I think I've applied maybe 3 coats of this eyeshadow. And I just like it to look a little bit more on the orangey side. So that's, I think that's it on the transition shade. For my Modern Renaissance palette, I'm gonna go in with burnt orange here. I'm gonna be blending it upwards. And again, going in with that M505 brush. I'm blending out both colors. So now I'm gonna go ahead and grab Real Gar. Just apply a little bit of that orange shade all over the crease. And for this one, I'm just gonna apply 1 layer. My all-time favorite, my Soft Glam palette. It's all crusty now, but I'm gonna be using the Rustic shade here to apply a little bit on the outer corners of my crease. I'm actually just gonna drag it a little towards the inner corner, not too much. And you see how now you can't really see that orange color, it's just a tad bit orangey, but not too much. I applied a tiny bit of concealer here from that same P. Louise base, just because I'm gonna be applying a blue glitter shadow and I don't want to fully cut the crease. So I am just gonna wet the tip of this brush. This is from, I think it's called Beamy Cosmetics. And I'm just gonna wet it a little bit with some toner. And I am gonna be mixing a little bit of the Breezy and Recharge from the Carnival palette from Be Perfect Cosmetics. Apply a little bit of Recharge and just mix it. This is what happens when you don't wet it. It's not as pigmented. And look at when it's wet. It's so pigmented. Now before I go ahead and apply the liquid glitter, I'm gonna go back in with my Soft Glam palette in the shade Rustic. And I'm gonna grab that same M506 brush. It's a tiny little brush, and just go back in at the outer corners and blend out that shade again in case there's any harsh lines. You just want it to really blend. So I'm gonna go in with my Stila liquid eyeshadow, and this is in the color Mystic. It's such a pretty blue. I'm just gonna apply it all over the lid, and do you see how a perfect color? I love how the Breezy and the Recharge just match perfectly with this shade. It's like, maybe this might be one of my favorite liquid eyeshadows. It's so easy to apply. Okay, right now I'm just applying some face cream. This is the Protein cream, and for foundation I'm gonna be using my NARS foundation in the shade Fiji, and because I'm just gonna wash this all off, I'm only gonna apply 3 pumps. It's like 7 already. Yep, 7 already. Now I have to go to sleep soon. Now with my NARS concealer in the shade Madeline, I'm gonna go ahead and conceal my ojeras. I'm gonna go ahead and bake my face with a Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just gonna apply it right on my ojera, right here, underneath my eyes, on the side of my nose, and then also on my smile lines. That's it for baking. I'm gonna go back in on my eyes, and then just using a brush that doesn't have any product at all, I'm gonna go ahead and blend out my shadow. I do this after every time when I apply my foundation. To give it a small pop of color, I'm gonna apply the NYX Slide On Glide On Stay On liner, and this is just in white. I'm gonna apply this on my waterline, and now using a smaller brush, I'm gonna go in with burnt orange and just apply it on the lower lash line. Applying rustic on the outer ends of the lash line and just blend it out as well. Just taking off the translucent powder. I'm gonna go ahead and contour my face. So I'm just gonna apply lines here on my forehead, and then also on my nose to make it look like I finally got that nose surgery I've been wanting. I'm gonna grab a small angled brush and just blend out my contour. And for my nose contour, I'm gonna drag it all the way to my eyebrows. In case I apply too much product, I like to go several times in to like shape out the nose and just remove any excess product. And then I go in with my beauty blender and just like tap on my nose where I have the contour and just shape out my nose. My favorite lashes in the style Carmel. Do you guys see how much it changes the look? It just goes from like lame to like freaking amazing. Go ahead and use the Duo Brush On Adhesive with vitamins. I'm gonna apply a small amount of adhesive on the lash, and I'm just gonna let it dry for about 30 seconds. While that dries, I'm gonna go in with my, what is this called? Peach Blur. This is from Too Faced. It's a translucent powder to just mattify the makeup. I'm gonna apply it all over my face. And I like this so much because it literally looks like I'm wearing a filter on my face, even if I'm breaking out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of blush. Apply it on the apples of the cheek. And something I've been loving to do is just to go over my beauty birthmarks. My birthmarks, I have one right here, then another one right here. So just using precisely my brown pencil. This is a dark brown shade. I'm just gonna go over that lunar and just kind of press on it, and that's it. And that's it. And then to make it look more natural, I go in with my beauty blender and then just kind of make it fade a little bit. Okay, for lipstick, I'm gonna be using 3 different lipsticks. First, I'm gonna be applying Sweet Tea. This is a lip liner from Morphe, and it's a very warm brown color. I'm also gonna be using Derriere, a matte lipstick from MAC. It's also a brown color. It's a little bit more on the chocolatey side. And for a nude, I'm gonna be using Supernatural from Dose of Colors. I usually start off by lining the bottom of my lip, and I just go over my natural line. For my top lip, I don't like to shape out like the corners up here, so I just try to make it look like a round, like if I'm pouting. So I'll start off with the side of my lip and then just kind of like round it. So now I'm gonna apply the Derriere lipstick. And because it's a little bit darker than Sweet Tea, I'm just gonna kind of like dab it on my lips. I'm trying not to press too hard because the whole point of outlining the lips, if you're doing like different colors, is for the lip liner to be a little bit darker than all of the other colors that are gonna be on your lip. But since this isn't the case, I'm not trying to apply it with a heavy hand. And now on the center of my lips, I'm just gonna apply a little bit of Supernatural. That's how much I'll apply, and then I'll go like this, and using my finger, I'll blend it out. And for this one, you do have to move kind of fast because this Dose of Color liquid lipstick dries really fast. So this is the finished look. Y es como queda este look. Y a mí este look me ha encantado bastante. Siempre trato de hacer colores naturales, me gusta mucho. Como los cafés, anaranjados. Y aunque este es azul, traté de hacerlo lo más natural posible. Pero espero que les haya gustado este look. Amor, ven. ¿Qué te pareció?
Perrón de chingón. Yes. I like it a lot.
¿Sí?
Ando bien, te amo.